Seems that we got statistics that say 45% of young Romanians claim that communism was actually a good thing for the nation. And this gets a lot of people concerned, especially from my generation, because most of us actually remember, if not the actual regime, but remember the way our parents were treated, and more importantly, remember the poverty, remember the horror, remember the oppression. And young people, they don't remember any of that. The way that they interact with communism is online. And so the question is, what causes this affection for communism? Well, number one, if you look at the culture, where is the money being pumped in? Where are the activists? Where are the journalists? Where are the academics focused on? Well, they're focused on fighting fascismus, right? Like they're focused on fighting the right wing. Is there a single dollar invested in educating the young generation about the horrors of communism? Is there a single page in the entire press talking about why communism is a bad thing? And the answer is like, well, if there are, I certainly don't know about them. They're quite rare. Like currently, the European Union and even Romania, they're hyper-focused on criminalizing anti-Semitismus, denying the Holocaust, right? Like all of these are into legislations. I think like now Romania actually has one of the most serious anti-Holocaust legislation in the world. And, you know, like that's all well and good, but like what about communism? Nothing? Well, then you get 55.8% of the people saying that communism is actually a good thing. Another way, what they're saying is like dictatorship is a good thing, right? Like the government being involved into every single aspect of your life is a good thing. And many individuals forget that while we on this channel enjoy liberty and freedom, other people actually enjoy control. Seriously, like not every single person wants to be free. There are certain people that like to be told what to do. They find a little bit more sense into order. And so they trust that the government has their best interests at mind. And so they trust that strangers that never get to see them will organize them in a much better way that they themselves can be organized. Or you have lazy people, or people that generally don't like to work. And so they like free shit, right? Like they want to have people take away money from someone else and give it to them in exchange for loyalty. The main problem that I think is that most Romanian young people don't know anything about communism. The only thing that they do know is what they learn from the Americans online. And when I say Americans, I include the Anglosphere in general, right? Like they go online, they see a leftist American, a Democrat, you know, talking about socialism and shit. Or they see a right-winger criticizing a version of communism, and they think, oh, well, that's not so bad. They don't really understand what communism was like. You couldn't own private property at all. Nothing was yours, officially. You weren't allowed to sell your labor. Like, okay, do you understand this? If your neighbor wanted to paint a fence, it was illegal for you to paint it for him in exchange of cash. Do you understand what we're talking about? Like that is communism. If you wanted to mow your neighbor's grass so you can get $10, that was a crime. It was illegal. The way you had to do it would be to register with the government, and then they put you in the pool of fence painters, and your neighbor has to go to the state and buy that from the state, from the government. And then the government takes a cut. And then you also pay taxes, and the cut was the bribe, of course. And then you also pay taxes, and then you're allowed. And probably not even your neighbor's fence, like you're told which fences to paint. You weren't allowed to be free. I keep saying this story because, like, when I heard it, I couldn't fucking believe it. And I did some research, and it was like, holy shit, it was true. Like, my uncle used to work in a factory. He was an engineer. And the police managed to find a gypsy. Yeah, he was like a person of Roma ethnicity. And they found him during the broad daylight, which posed a mystery for the government. Like, why is this man walking in the daylight during working hours? Why isn't he in a factory? So they took him to the police station. You know, Americans complain about police violence. There was no violence. Like, you're on the street and then you disappear. They had secret police. In other words, like, the police were dressed as civilians, right? You have like 4 or 5 thugs. They pick you up and throw you in a car. They don't read rights. They don't... That's a dictatorship. That's how an authoritarian regime functions. So they took him to the police station and they asked, why are you not working? Because yes, like, communism gives you welfare, but only if you literally cannot work. In other words, if you have two arms and 2 feet, they will find the job for you. If you're in a wheelchair, they will find the job for you. They will make you a human servitor. Like, there are people that used to be in a hospital elevator just pushing the fucking button. Because the idea is, like, when the doctors come with the patient, they may have to hold the patient so they can't push the button. And they literally had a human servitor. Yes, so like, if you're in a wheelchair and like, hey, I can't work, I have back problem. It's okay, Tovarish. We will find a job that you can do. And even if it was not worth what they were paying it, like, the very fact that they make you work was the whole point, right? So like, they found this gypsy and it's like in the middle of the street during working hour. Like, what are you doing? Well, I sing at weddings. You do what? Well, that's a crime. You're not allowed to sell your own labor. That's degenerate capitalism. So they beat him up. They don't say beat him up. They said apply the correction. They had terminology for that. And they were outraged because apparently he was making more money by singing at weddings than the entire police department. And they were outraged. It's like, well, what do you mean you make more money in a weekend than an honest worker makes in a factory in a month? And then they threw him in a factory. He didn't know how to do shit. Of course he didn't, right? Like, it was inhumane and cruel what was happening to him. All the factory workers were mocking him, ridiculing him, making him do the most indecent tasks. And that's what you get, right? That's communism. This is why my generation has an absolute disdain and disgust towards Karens, or anyone that claims they have a moral high ground. If you have a moral high ground, prove it by action. Don't prove it by flapping your mouth. Because a lot of communists did this for moral reasons. They had universal morality, the Soviet man. That's what they called it. The workers' code. Any nation that doesn't have the workers' code is less than human. And so my generation like has even Romanian slurs, like in Romania, that are specifically targeting Karens. But anyway, right. It doesn't surprise me. It is sad. It is concerning. And it's also very difficult for me to tell a young person why communism is bad. I can still do it in 2025. But as we're moving closer to the future, it becomes more and more difficult. Like, for instance, let's say I try to say that we're better off than China. In 2010, that was really easy. It's like, look, here we can say whatever the fuck we want. Here we can do whatever the fuck we want, right? Like, the internet is free. China has like a firewall. They don't trust their citizens. They treat their citizens like children. They ban a lot of shit. We don't do that here. Like, sure, you know, there are bad things that are happening. Life is tough, but that's the price of liberty. Like, the price of liberty is not safety. Price of liberty is learning how to deal with the problems yourself. You don't expect the government to deal it for you. You don't expect other people to deal it for you. You need to empower yourself. You need to strengthen yourself, and you need to tackle the problems as they come. But today, like, what can I say? It's like China has censorship. We have censorship here. Like, recently I saw a jubilee on Twitter, and apparently this Catholic guy was debating some journalist. Catholic guy gets fired after the jubilee. Like what's the point? And they will say, well, yeah, but like it's a lot better because the government didn't arrest him. It's like, is it? Is it better that the government, like during communism, you know what they would have done if you spoke against the party like that and it was a one-off and you were like a nobody? They would give you a fine. Or worse off, they would take away your communist membership card. Do you know what that means? If they took away your communist membership card, you couldn't find a job. They didn't lock you up. Like, they would lock people up if you were, like, genuinely dissenting. Like, if you created an actual cult of personality, which was rare. No, like, most people that were locked up was either because they had large fortunes, or because like they were incredibly popular. But someone that just talked mad shit or was against the regime, you would get a fine, or you'd get your communist card removed. And they had the argument for it. It's like, okay, if you're against communism, you can't be a member of the Communist Party. If you're not a member of the Communist Party, like, the government is not going to employ you because the government is ran by the Communist Party. Figure it out. Right? So, like, literally, the whole cancel culture existed under communism, and it was also, like, getting people fired. And so, like, how can I tell someone it's like, well, it's a lot better now, when it's literally the same shit. It's just, like, different topics that you're not allowed to talk. But at the end of the day, like, the idea is the same. The government has a policy. They tell social media companies what they need to ban, and then they enforce that. Like the European Union or the United Kingdom has the Digital Online Safety Act. And they literally say, in the Digital Online Safety Act, they say stuff that is harmful but not illegal has to be banned. So, like, you don't even know. In other words, it's like, well, it depends. You know, look at what the British government's policy is today, 2025, right? Don't look at the one in 2020. Look at the one currently and enact that. If they're against that, it's harmful. It's like, okay. LGBT stuff. Like, kids will look back that, well, LGBT stuff was criminalized. If you are gay, they would put you in prison. A lot of kids that are right-wing, they may say, wow, you know what, like, that's based. They don't look that it comes in a package. Like even if you're phobic, right? Like, you're homophobic. Okay, but, like, it comes in a package. They're taking away your liberties to give you that. Like, if for some reason you genuinely think that's the good thing, you know? They're taking away all of your other shit to give you, like, one stuff that you can avoid in your life anyway. It's just like one example, because I know, like, I heard a lot of Romanians say, oh, well, that's based. I don't think it's based. But, okay, like, let's assume, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. Let's assume it's very based. Okay. Why are you willing to give up so much to get this one thing? Like, is it really that important? Can you not avoid it any other way? Send your kid to a private school. Homeschool your kid. You know, advocate for homeschooling. Is it like, is there nothing you can do? Like, do you really need the government? Is that the only thing? What about the people that weren't gay that were locked up? Do you know how easy it is to accuse someone of sexual misconduct? It's one of the most difficult things to prove. How do you prove you're not gay if you're accused, right? A lot of innocent people went to prison. In my opinion, all of them went to prison. If you're being gay, you shouldn't be locked up. But, like, still, you know, like, trying to think through the context of that time period. And why young people would advocate to bring that back. But it's okay, you know, if you like it, it's going to appear, I guess. You know, it's like the wheel is spinning. We're going to get more authoritarian measures in the future. We're not going to reach communist levels, although they are trying. And when I say trying, is like making sure that people can purchase less. Like look at your purchasing power. Compare it to 2016, compare it to 2020, and now compare it to today. It's going down, isn't it? Do you think in the future it's going to go back up? I don't think so. It's like it's going down, and I think it's going down on purpose. You know, printing money doesn't just happen. So yeah, like, you're going to be able to buy less, you're going to be able to enjoy less, and you're going to be controlled more. Because, like, when that happens, people complain, and it's not good if people complain. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know, hopefully the next generation, right? My children, your children, if they're in Europe, hopefully they will have more common sense. Usually when people reach the age of puberty, they become rebellious. And they do exactly the opposite of what their parents did. And so if their parents were communists, well, you're going to get people that are anti-communists. In my situation, you know, my parents were for freedom. And so it seems that the young generation from today is anti-freedom. Okay, well, it's expected, right? Like, the calendar changed, the new season is here. It's going to change again. Let me know what you think. And if you like the video, I will see you on my live stream. Don't forget to click a thumbs up. Apparently the algorithm likes that.